There's only one place to start because Monday's transfer deadline has passed, and before the deadline closed, Liverpool did complete the signing of Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Liverpool will pay £125 million to Newcastle, and then there's another £5 million to be paid in solidarity payments. But this is the signing that everyone was talking about all summer, and now that it's finally done, I wanted to ask you, because of Isak's quality, is this the signing that you can say takes Liverpool to the Premier League title?
Well, yeah, it's a big shout. Just quick to clarify, actually, on the kind of what the payments there. Obviously, it's only 125 million that Liverpool have to pay. The extra 5 million that Newcastle are kind of counting within it is that 5 million they've saved in not paying Isak in those solidarity payments. So for Liverpool, 125 million flat, no add-ons. It's very kind of old-fashioned and very much in line with what Liverpool wanted to pay, by the way, because we saw a lot of talk over the summer, didn't we, about £110 million initial offer being disrespectful. Well, when you see where the figure ended up, I think Liverpool were absolutely accurate to go in with that as their opening offer, and what subsequently happened has proven that. But in terms of, obviously, the impact of the signing, I already had Liverpool in a good position in the Premier League. What you felt they lacked is a bit of attacking depth because of what they've got rid of. Now, they've not just added depth there, they've not just added a body, have they? They've added, with a player who could potentially be, in my opinion, I think he's got a real chance over these next 3 years or so to cement himself as the best centre forward in the world. I think he's shown all the potential to do that. I mean, he's already right up there for Newcastle. Don't get me wrong; he doesn't necessarily need Liverpool to do that, but Liverpool attack more. They have the ball in forward areas more. They put the ball into the box more. There's just more scope for him for his numbers to go to another level. And I think, once you start doing that, then maybe more people recognise how good you are. And I think, yeah, it certainly can't hurt in terms of Liverpool's title chances. I mean, one thing you would say going from last season to this is that, Arsenal have still maybe got some issues. City have maybe still got some issues. Have they stepped up to the next level? I still think Liverpool were in a really good position to say, going in without any changes, that they would defend their title. But what they've done, and the only question you would have, is about the amount of turnover that they've had. But the turnover has seen a real increase in quality, in my opinion. And I think Isak kind of sums that up, really. So if they can get through this initial period, picking up points, which they're already doing really well by getting 9 from 9, then, they'll start to hit the stride then. And like I say, if they're not somehow a load of points behind after the first sort of 7 or 8 games, which it clearly won't happen now because they've already made a good start, then I would make them absolute favourites to go on and lift the title.
When do you think that Isak will actually make his debut for Liverpool? Because he hasn't really had a pre-season with Newcastle because there was obviously that tension and, things about training with Eddie Howe and things like that. So do we think that maybe it won't be immediately after the September international break? Then we might have to wait, say, into October to see him actually start his first game for Liverpool.
Yeah, but certainly starting will probably be a little while. And it was interesting to note in his interview that he did with the club's official website that he even cast a little bit of doubt on possibly being available for the Burnley game, which is first up. So, and if a player's saying that, that players are usually very eager to play and sort of ready before the medical staff say they are. So for him to even be saying that he might not be ready for that just makes you wonder, will he even make the bench for it, or might he just need a couple of weeks to have a full pre-season almost and on his own to get himself up to scratch? So yeah, don't expect him to be in the starting 11 at Burnley. Even maybe a question mark over the squad, but then I think after that the games come so thick and fast. Liverpool are going to have to, as quickly as they can, get him adapted, really, aren't they? And there probably is enough space on that bench for him as well, by the way, with the sales they've made. So maybe he does just sneak in there straight away. But we might have to wait a couple of weeks for a first start. And once he gets there, he should be straight into rhythm. And he's going to be a good fit for this team as well. So I'm hoping it won't take him too long to get up to speed.
Do you think, in a way, that now this is the future of Liverpool without Mohamed Salah sorted? Because we signed Ekitike this summer, Florian Wirtz has been signed, and now Alexander Isak has been signed. It's like you don't have to worry now as much about what the Liverpool front line will look like because the goals will be there, the creativity will be there, and maybe Liverpool will be able to adjust to life without Mo Salah in the team.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, it's kind of strange, isn't it, to say that these are kind of Mo Salah replacements, but in a way, what you had to do in that situation, knowing that in a couple of years' time, maybe he'll sign another contract, that would be fantastic. But the likelihood is not. that in a couple of years' time, Liverpool would have to replace. They'd have a huge gap in their attack that needs sorting out, really, which is goals, assists, just quality and get the ball up the pitch as Mo Salah consistently brings. Now, if you waited till the point that he was about to go and you had to go into the market then and kind of find a right winger who could do all those things, I mean, he's one of the greatest right wingers to ever play the game. It's as simple as that. So to go out there looking for someone like him, it's just impossible. That profile will not exist. I mean, we might not see another player like him for another 20 years. It's, he's that kind of level. So what you have to do is make sure you have at least that level of quality elsewhere in the team. And, Isak is definitely that in the centre forward role. That I know Wirtz has made a slowish start, but there's just no doubt in his quality, in my opinion. And he will be at least, of that Salah level, similar with Isak, and Ekitike can definitely get there as well. What a start he's had. So then, in a couple of years' time, maybe you're looking for a right winger and you're looking for one who is kind of more of a, like a Gakpo level, or, who, by the way, I'm not damning him there. That he's a fantastic footballer, but doesn't have to be the outstanding attacker that you've got in your team. Just someone who can chip in with goals and assists, but maybe doesn't have to be the absolute superstar of your team. And that is far easier to find, isn't it? So yeah, I agree. It's kind of preparation for Liverpool for what's coming in terms of Mo Salah leaving. But the beauty of it is that they've got ahead of that. And now you've got this attack now with Salah, Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike, however they mix that up, and Gakpo. Ingamo is coming through as well. He looks like he could be a superstar. So it's really exciting times for Liverpool. And it might take a while to click. I think once it does, there's nobody in the Premier League and that's got an attack that's anywhere near that level. And I think there's very few sides in Europe who could compare to it.